It'll be interesting to see if there's actually a scene where Trey's mom, who's totally not his mom, gets banged by the Triple X Division champion, Sir Bangers and Mash himself, Hayes Austin. That'll be interesting. What did you think about Trey winning the X Division #1 contendership?
Good on Trey. I was really pulling for either Trey or Big Daddy Willie Mack. Either one of them, I would really love to see with the X Division title. I think either one of them, both of them have been doing such good work that they need there needs to be something to show for it at some point.
I agree, and putting guys like Willie Mack and even Fallah Bot in the X Division for title matches or possible title wins just makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like Brian Cage was fine, but I wouldn't have put Brian Cage in there because even though he's athletic, he's not very X Division-y.
No.
So.
And he shouldn't try to be.
No.
With how jacked you are, man, you don't need to be doing flips and standing shooting star presses and shit like that. Just stop.
That's a whole other conversation interwoven with the idea of what modern pro wrestling has become in the grand scheme of things that I don't want to get into because we've already been on for an hour and I can feel my sanity slipping away. Strand by strand. So yeah, we're not going to do that. Not tonight. But I agree. We then got Gabby. She's interviewing Rich Swann about next week's #1 contender match, and he's all like, I'm a win. And she's like, all right. And then Gabby's backstage at the commercial break, and she's like, it's Michael Elgin. What's up? And Elgin's like, I look like a baboon's ass. And Gabby's like, you're right, you do. And that was it.
Yeah.
Don't think he actually said that, but artistic creativities and whatnots. Madison Rayne then took on Alexia Nicole. We all know how I feel about Alexia Nicole.
Yes.
You know how I feel. The fans know how I feel. The restraining order knows how I feel. We've covered it. This is a good match. One of Madison Rayne's best in recent memory. I don't know if that's a showcase of how good Nicole is, although there were some times where I thought she was unsure of her footwork, and that did kind of restrain herself a bit. But she's also a very young worker, so I'm not going to sit here and demand that she be held, to perfection right off the bat. Tessa Blanchard's the rule that proves she's the exception that proves the rule. Like I don't expect everyone to be on her level.
Right.
So I got like Nicole, and I think Madison Rayne had a really good match with her, and it did its job to put over Madison as this devious, cocksured heel.
Mm-hmm.
So I appreciate it. Kira's still rocking the shoulder. Because we're rocking the suburbs. Can you name the song name the movie that song is from?
I cannot.
Over the Hedge. Yes. Where Bruce Willis and Avril Lavigne share screen time.
It's a fascinating world we live in, isn't it?
Right. So.
Right.
We then go backstage. Oh my God, why? Why was this a thing? So Johnny's like, hey, Petey, remember that time you turned me down? Well, I crapped in your bag because young boys and stuff. And Petey's like, you didn't crap in my bag. He's like, yes, I did. That's your bag. And Petey lifts up his bag and goes, no, this is my bag. And Johnny goes, whose bag did I crap in? And then Ken Shamrock walks up, grabs his bag, which is the bag that has been fecalized, and he tells Johnny he smells and leaves. So the thing I love about Johnny Swinger is he's literally become a giant commentary on the way the pro wrestling business was just a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's such a good gimmick, and I'm so glad Impact brought him in. And yes, I fully admit, there was a time I didn't.
Yes, I mean, we didn't know. How could we have known what we were going to get? all we knew was we were getting Johnny's, and we were just like, why?
We didn't realize we weren't getting Johnny Swinger. We were getting the Swing Man.
Oh, yeah.
So, backstage, or in the grotto, RVD and Katie Forbes' ass are in a hot tub. I love that line. Katie Forbes is still bouncing her ass cheeks 4 days later.
Uh-huh.
This chick does not do it for me in any way, shape, or form. She's too tattooed, too Botox, too everything. But
she's just too much.
If she does it for Rob, good for Rob.
Mm-hmm.
Rob announces that he'll be back next week, and Katie will be with him. Yay! So then we get Daga. No, I'm sorry, I mispronounced his name. Daga Richards, the Spanish Davey Richards, taking on Jake Crist. This is kind of a not a build-to match, but it's kind of a foreshadowing of next week's 5-way, they said. This might be the best match of the night. Jake's a hell of a worker, but Daga is even better, and Daga gets the win. Really enjoyed it. Really built up for the next week's events. Yes.
Yes.
Looking at the videos, and I think these are out of order. Oh no, they just didn't include half the fucking show.
Yeah, they typically it's after by Friday they'll probably have the rest of the shit up there.
Not sure why they did that, but they did that. So They did that. So yeah, we move on. Tessa and Swan versus Callahan and Madman Fulton. This match divulged into this just big brawl. If I remember correctly, this is the match that had Brian Cage come out?
Yes.
Beat up the OVE crew and stalemated. Yeah. With three of the 5 members of the 5-way dance for next week.
Mm-hmm. Well, now it's 6.
It's 6?
Yes, because Brian Cage has been added to the match.
I thought he was already added to the match.
No.
Why doesn't anyone inform me of these things?
It was Tessa, Daga, Swan, Moose, and Elgin. And then Brian Cage got added after he ran down.
It was announced that Rich Swan's going to be facing off with Sami Callihan at the December event on Impact Plus for the Impact World title.
Yes, so technically he's already the number 1 contender.
So he might get a second number 1 contendership.
Well, good for Swanee.
Good for the Swan. And they even make mention that the reason he's getting this title shot at whatever the event's called, I forget what it's called, is because he pinned Sami last week.
Indeed.
So I like that.
Yes, I like when wins actually mean something.
Right? So next, we're backstage. It's Taya and Jordan. No, I'm sorry. It's Taya and Johnny Bravo. Jordan walks up and wants a title shot. Taya blows her off and says she can't just challenge her this way. Grace says that she'll take any match, and Bravo accepts, making it a handicap match with Bravo and Taya versus Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That'll
Yeah.
Next, we get Moose, says he's the greatest multi-sport athlete, greatest wrestler, MMA fighter, and is a tennis player. He's with 20-year tennis vet Mikey, and this is Moose's first time playing. Moose threatens to break his neck, be it Mikey's, and schools Mikey, who calls him a natural. Mikey was then laid out. The recap of this was fantastic. Thank you.
Yes, it was great. I just love... I love Mikey just swinging at the ball and not having his back turned to it at the same time.
The only thing that would make it better is if he was doing the dad, good try, son. Where Moose would Moose hit and Mikey would completely whiff on purpose. Good try, Moose.
That would be great. That would have been awesome.
I'm all for that. I'm here to rep for that. I will stand for that. So then we get Jessica Havoc destroying Jenny Kickpads.
Yay.
Interesting name.
Jenny Kickpads.
My name is Jenny Kickpads. Are you on a roller derby team?
See, if you, what would be really fantastic if she didn't wear kickpads.
So her name was ironic?
Yes. It's better than her name is being kickpads because she wears kickpads.
But what if she was called Jenny Brawstrap because you wore kick pads? Or Jenny Botox? Why do they call you? Why do they call you Jenny Weave? I wear kick pads. What? What does one have to do with the other?
Exactly.
You figured it out. Good on you. Aren't you so smart? So, main event time.
We give Larry a shit because he was, but I do like his quote unquote grading for the Havoc Jenny Kickpads match.
Larry Zonka, he's a dick.
his grade for it is death.
Is that your favorite snack?
Oh, I'm sure he means that in a negative way, but I find it hilarious and quite accurate because Jenny Kickpads is now dead.
Rip Jenny Kickpads. The rippiest. So we get the main event. It's Marufuji and Edwards, two former GHC heavyweight champions, taking on the North for the tag team titles. According to Larry Zonka, the North defeated Naomichi Marufuji and Eddie Edwards at 16:45 via pin for a 3 3/4 star match. This was a very good main event, with everyone working hard and delivering. The only thing it really lacked was making people buy in on the possible title change. Had they done that and gotten the crowd really heated, it's even better. The only way I think you can achieve that is prior to the match. That would mean significant more build-up. And that's one of the things that I really appreciate for New Japan is they always make you think that it's possible that one of these random-ass dudes wins a title. Because they give them 5 weeks to build up to it. They don't just throw them in there with one match. It's a conversation. There's interviews. There's run-ins. There's confrontation. There's so much more to it. And Impact does a good job building to theirs, don't get me wrong. But in these instances, they could do a bit better.
Yeah.
What'd you think of the main event? Do you have any El Fatsos?
You cut out. What do I think of the title match?
Main event of the evening.
The main event was very good. I enjoyed this. I think I would like to see Marufuji and Eddie Edwards as a tag team more. So that's another another little name that you could throw into the tag team pool. But yeah, the match was solid. Honestly, I thought by the end of it, I thought maybe Eddie and Marufuji could pull off a win here. So I think the match did just fine in presenting that believability that the title could change hands, because Impact doesn't necessarily always do the long build up before a title change. Sometimes it just happens. Sometimes it happens on Impact Plus show, like it did with LAX and the North.
Sometimes it happens when a guy returns for a 4-year hiatus and beats your super popular, super cool world champion 2 days after winning the belt. Austin Aries. Pentagon.
That one.
Yeah, that one. Didn't need to happen, but it did.